Hi, everyone. Welcome along to our weekly devotion. Um, Before the Gaithers were famous for making gospel songs known to the church and beyond, and before the Gettys were doing the same thing, and Hillsong were making their worship songs available to the church around the world, and before Chris Tomlin was famous, there was Anne Steele. You may not have heard of her, but she lived way back in the 1700s. She got saved in 1732, got baptized the very same year. She was the daughter of a Baptist pastor from a little village in Hampshire in England. And after getting converted, Anne was intentionally serious about really getting to understand and know all she possibly could about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. She would learn whatever she could, she would read whatever she could, and she was discovering Christ in fresh ways every day. We're told that such was her demeanor that she was just filled with cheerfulness and the things that she was learning and discovering about Jesus. And she just wanted to share that with anybody she could meet and anybody that would be around her. So she brought this joy and this happiness to anyone she met. However, life wasn't all perfect in every sense. She had a lot of health problems. She had ongoing malaria, and she had stomach problems and was troubled in horrendous ways in that sense. But she chose to remain single throughout her life because she wanted to devote her life to glorifying God through the writing of poetry and the writing of hymns. She was proposed to on two occasions, but she declined because she said, I really want to devote my life to serving God as best I can, just through the writing of these words that'll touch lives and hopefully encourage the church. She died, unfortunately, in 1779, but about 10 years prior to her death, a collection of 62 of her poems and hymns were published as a collection of hymns adapted to public worship by the Baptist denomination. Anne's hymns discovered a very popular acceptance amongst believers in churches and were used to play a critical role in what was the revival of the Baptist denomination in England at the end of the 18th century. And perhaps her most famous hymn was that known as the Saviour's Invitation. Anne wrote this hymn after being really impressed by the Spirit with the words of Jesus in John 7:37. If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink, are those words. And the Spirit really impressed these on Anne's heart and mind. And so she wrote these incredible words that I'll read to you now, and you'll get a feel for Anne's skill and what she was writing and how she was glorifying God. She writes, the Savior calls, let every ear attend the heavenly sound. Ye doubting souls, dismiss your fear. Hope smiles reviving round. For every thirsty, longing heart, here streams of bounty flow, and life and health and bliss impart to banish mortal woe. Here streams of sacred pleasure rise to ease your every pain. Immortal fountain, full supplies, nor shall you thirst in vain. Ye sinners come, 'tis mercy's voice, the gracious call obey. Mercy invites to heaven's joys, and can you yet delay? Dear Saviour, draw reluctant hearts, to thee let sinners fly, and take the bliss thy love imparts, and drink and never die. You get how that fitted in with those words, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. So that's the Saviour's invitation she's writing there. You know, Anne desired that everyone hear God's truth and have that opportunity to respond to Christ's invitation of salvation. And she believed that in Jesus alone were these streams of sacred pleasure that could ease the troubles of the soul. So she would wanted through her words people to come to know Christ. But however, she also knew that sinful man was reluctant to naturally come to Christ. He had to somehow be drawn to the Savior. And so as Anne stood among those Baptists of old singing her hymn, she, like them, had absolutely no way of knowing that the Spirit of God was about to move among them, bringing revival to their village, revival to their county, revival to their country, revival to the nation and beyond. You see, words are extremely powerful. So what you speak, what you write, all can serve as a ministry for God today. So I want to encourage you today. Let the Spirit of God speak through you in word and on paper. And as he does so, let him bring about his plan for Brisbane, for Queensland, for our nation of Australia. Let him minister, but let him minister through us. Perhaps you're the next Anne Steele. Be blessed and have a great day.